while I don't think you should ignore a tantrum, and this is where that kind of nuance comes in, I do think you shouldn't say anything. So recently, I've had a lot of people reach out and say, well, I need a script when they're tantruming. I need something to say. Like, what should I be saying? You don't have to say anything. In fact, this is one of those situations, if you can just shut up, that's the better option and just be there. So I always recommend during a tantrum for this younger phase, you sit on the floor so you're there level, because it can be extremely threatening having somebody over you. Sit down on the floor and you can just hang out. And you can just, if you have to say something, it could be like, I'm right here when you need me. And it should be soft, just there. If they need a hug, if you advance on them, you can sometimes whisper, I see you're upset. Yes, I'm right here if you need me. And that usually will de-escalate things very, very quickly, because these kids in this age range, they're dysregulated because it's like out of their control, right? They couldn't rein this in if they tried. And remember, let's talk about the arc of a tantrum. So a tantrum looks like an arc, right? If you were looking at a piece of graph paper, and I divide it into like quarters, right? Or no, thirds. So there's like a third of the way up, and that is the spot where you may see it coming. You may be able to distract. And by distract, I don't mean give them the thing that they might want, or like, okay, I'll fix the sandwich. Okay, I'll get you a different cup. Okay. It's not placating. It's like, oh, hey, you want to go outside? It looks like you're getting a little riled up. You want to go outside and count the yellow things? That might be a really good distraction, right? Get some breath, get outside, change of scenery, change of everything. Not giving in. Now, sometimes we see it coming. Some kids go 0 to 60 and we don't see that first third coming into a tantrum arc. Once you get past that point, and you'll get, if you don't know it, you'll learn it really quick. Your child is not distractible. They're on a track, and that track is to Tantrumville. Now you have the peak of the tantrum. Yes, that peak tantrum right at the top is inconsolable, and you shouldn't say anything, and you shouldn't do anything. You shouldn't try to manage it. You shouldn't try to bring it down. It's just got to run its course. Yeah. And I think in the past, I've done a graphic on this where I divided them into quarters, but like in my head right now, I'm envisioning it, and I think thirds make more sense. Now, on the other side of the arc, you have the come down, and you can usually hear this. Their tears are starting to subside. They might be catching their breath. They might need a hug. They might come over you. And that's when you might open your arms, let your child hug you, hold them. You can say soothing words, I'm here. It's okay. We're good. Yeah. Okay. Take a breath. Those kinds of things. Monotone, kind of like low pitch, like I'm doing right now, even toned, no big deal. And let your child get to full breath. And then as it peters out, that's where the co-regulation is coming in, right? That's where the co-regulation is happening. And that is where your child will come back to a baseline. And then you can say, okay, great, let's go. You want to step outside, or you want to finish lunch? Whatever move on. Do not go back and try to teach the lesson as your child has just co-regulated. Do not do that. Right? This is the same thing as when they go to settle their bodies in their room. We do not want them, feeling shame, reliving it, going back to that place. Like, just move on.